Hello everybody, how you doing? This is Pete, also known as Lord PeteyTV. I am here to once again give you your weekly updates for our affixes for our Mythic Pluses this week. Now, I apologize if anybody hears anything going on in the background. It's just my dad working on behind this wall, trying to get the apartment ready. Now, as you guys know, we're in the new space right now. I still don't have sound foam up, so I apologize for any noises you might hear. So once again, so here is our Mythic Plus affixes for this week and what is going on. Now I'm on my new computer setup, so I'm just trying to make sure I get all my info in front of me while we're doing this. Now I'm going to talk about what's it called? What's it called? It's technically postseason, so it is post season 4 or pre-patch season, whichever you want to call it, and it is technically week 1. Now, this week, is it week 1 or is it technically week 2? Is it week 1 or week 2? I think it's actually technically week 2. But anyway, no, it is week 1. I'm pretty sure it's week 1. Anyway, so this week it is Fortified, Sanguine, Grievous, and Shrouded. Now, like we always do, we kind of go through it all so you should have an idea of what's going on. So, Fortified, non-boss enemies have more health and deal extra damage. And then we have the Sanguine when after an enemy dies, a non-boss enemy, I should say, drops a pool on the ground. Lasts about 20 seconds. If anybody goes through it, you gain a percentage of your health. And Grievous, and that's anything under 90% health, you get a tick of Grievous wound. The more damage you take over time, the more ticks you're gonna get. I just realized that's gonna be in the way for you. Well, I am sorry. It's all new. Trying to figure this stuff out. So as we go. So Grievous is that, and then your last thing is Shrouded. We've been dealing with that the whole time. So and that's your your regular dreadlords or whatever you want to call your those dudes. So so we take a second, we just take a moment back and kind of just think of what each thing is individually and how difficult it is going to be and how it's going to act for you specifically. Now, once again, these are all my personal opinions. Many people can complain or talk about it. You want to have a discussion, comment and post below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because I try to get these done every week. If I don't, I make sure I still get something done, even if it is a little late, and I apologize for that, just so people have an idea of what's going on and what's taking in my head. So anyway, so for this Sanguine Grievous week, I think it's pretty easy on ranged. It's kind of like mid-range, like middle, for the melee, middle to hard, and then for the melee, for the heals, it's hard, and it is the hardest to deal with for the tanks. And I would say it's harder, not hardest for the healers too. Now, the reason why I'm saying it that way is because when you end up making these pulls and everything, there's certain things you kind of have to think of, work with, and go through. So the first thing is that when you have these, you have to be very, very careful of a couple different things. One of them is small areas, because you can't kite around the ads to drop the Sanguine, which means places like Grimrail, the whole Karazhan, like the hallways are going to be terrible. On lower and upper, you have your workshop. You have those small walkways to go through. So you have those areas where you really, really got to be careful because you're gonna drop Sanguine, and then everything's just gonna heal, and you're just gonna be there the whole time, and it's just a killer for time. And then you have the polar opposite effect, which is gonna be your large groups. So you're gonna have your Karazhan, which has a couple of very, very large packs you're gonna pull, and your Junkyard, where people tend to pull very large so they can kind of burn through stuff. Now, the reason why those are more difficult than other places is because the things around you are gonna be causing you a lot of problems. So you just have to make sure your tanks can move and deal with that very easily. Now, like I was saying, the reason why I'm saying it's kind of hard for for I would say the healers is increasingly the melee healers, because you're going to be in that melee. You're going to be attacking. You're going to try to heal. Someone's going to die. Sanguine's going to die. You're going to have to back out, and then you got to try to heal, but you can't heal because you don't have the ability to melee. So it's like you have to kind of like you jump in and out. You got to be like, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. You got to like back and forth and move. And eventually, what ends up happening is that you have to learn to adjust with how the melee operates with dropping your sanguines and your tank on how they drop that. You have to stay ahead of the game. You got to make sure you're on that next mob that isn't going to die, so that you can do those heals. And then the other thing that some of the things that kind of like also really are difficult to deal with is with melee when they end up hitting sanguine. All right, it's like an instant stack of Grievous. So then your healer's got to have to heal you to get full to drop that stack. That's the only way you're going to lose it, is when you get healed to full. So you have that like that ping-ponging effect, which is going to be causing lots and lots of problems. So be careful of that. Now, as for the tanks, trying to get these times done, what I end up seeing tanks do is they tend to overpull, and they start moving to overcompensate for overpulling on purpose, so that people can get the mobs down, so they can kind of kite away. The like Demon Hunter tanks are probably most known for that, because they can get in there, pop their demon spikes, AoE damage a group of guys, hold aggro, spirit bomb, bounce out, and they can be like, a million miles away and they're still got aggro. So I've seen a lot of Demon Hunter tanks try to do that type of work. You gotta be careful of that. Now, the tanks that are gonna probably be the best ones to deal with here are gonna be your high mitigation type tanks. I'm talking your Pallies, your Warriors, your DKs. Those are the ones that are really nice for dealing with this week, because they can shred off a lot of that damage. Now, yes, monks do have stagger, and that is a high mitigation. But as I played my monk tank this week, what ended up happening was that stagger could only do so much. And I don't know if that's because of my gear, or if it was because I was just pulling too much, or what. But it was very hard to deal with, and you had to constantly be constantly be pumping back Purifying Brews and Celestial Brews, and then we were popping back more Purifying Brews than the Oxbone. But I was just popping drinks left and right. I felt like I was I was like spring break down in Florida, popping all the brews possible to keep going. So that was something I kind of had to keep an eye on and notice. And like I was saying, demon hunters, they can get in there, pop demon spikes, and be alive for their 5-10 seconds, and then they would have to get out. So they were very hard to deal with this week, trying to heal them. So it was kind of a harder week, in my personal opinion, overall, to kind of deal with. Even though it's technically an easy week, if you're running with a normal set of people. If you're running with a normal set of people, they all know how each other works. They all know how they operate. So it was kind of a big deal. So yeah, so it's definitely something to think of. So just a reminder, it's Lord PeteyTV. I'm on Twitch every single Monday through Friday. Usually I start around 3 and go to 11. This week I've been kind of, or I should say, the week of the 7th, I've been kind of a little off of my time, so just trying to take care of a lot of stuff as possible before Dragonflight comes in, because we're gonna be doing a lot of Dragonflight giveaways. We got a subathon, we got a giveaway for a couple of standard copies. I got a collector's edition hard copy right here in the box to be given away too. So we got this bad boy, which we're gonna be giving away like we always do when every single expansion gets out. So we got this bad boy. We're gonna be giving this guy away. So like, you know, we got all these fun little stuff. So make sure you end up doing that. If you end up, you know, if you're looking for energy drinks, make sure you use Lord PeteyTV at Rogue Energy. We end up using Rogue Energy drinks here. You know, they've been really good. They help to kind of push me through the nights when I'm getting really tired. So that's really, really good. So we're going with that. We're updating shirts. We're having a couple new shirts made up. I'm trying to make some specific ones for Dragonflight, so we have a lot of fun there. So once again, thank you again. Make sure you hit that subscribe button here. Make sure you go follow us on Twitch, on any single social media platform, Lord PeteyTV, and I'm here to you know, help you all out on your Mythic Plus needs throughout the whole channel, throughout the whole week. So make sure you stop in. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.